Winners will be taking home 2,000 gems per player. Second place will go home with 800 gems per player. Once again, the teams very quickly are going to be WeRec, UPay, with Hiba and Lord Asura, both, I believe, from Cheese Mode. Not sure if Lord Asura is from Cheese Mode, but Hiba is. And as well, our second team, Trading Post Campers, with Milo and Impavitus Odium, both representing from Team I Love Lunch in the Conquest sector of the game. Now, to note off the bat here, we have seen a change-up. No longer do we have an engineer being utilized here by the blue team. They're instead going with Double Warrior, and a very interesting build at that. Impavitus is going to play Axe Sword, so it's it's Eviscerate, but, I mean, so that's not too out of the ordinary. However, the 2 points into arms in order to get deep cuts that's a very strange choice, especially when you consider he really only has, like, one ability that's going to bleed. So we'll see kind of how that plays out. Usually we would expect 10 points going to strength here, but other than that, though, it's a pretty normal Evis build. Milo, however, is running with standard Hembo 00626. Lots of AoE pressure comes onto the point from this, as well as the CC if his opponents get locked into that hammer combo as well. And once again, for the red squad, we've got Lord Asura, who will be playing DD Celestial here with 00266 and Runes of Strength, and then Hiba will be playing his Rifle NG with Celestial Rifle and 60044. Let's get started, guys.
The match starts soon. Last chance to nail down your strategy.
Replenishing.
All right. So here we go once again with the first round of the grand finals here. First team to 3 will win today's prize pool of 4,000 gems per player. Or no, 4,000 gems in total, 2,000 gems per player. Second place will take home the 1,600 gems total, 800 gems per player. But with things getting started here, nobody going too crazy right off the bat here. You do see Hiba being forced to use one of his dodges there early with a very well-positioned arcing arrow that comes into play there from Impavitus, I believe. But nice pull comes off over here onto Impavitus. Does get a little bit of Kanji Spike on him. Forces a very early pop of a stability here, too, once again. So they're going to get 2 of his stances pop. Going over to Impavitus to check that out. Both Balance and Berserker stance have both been used fairly early here. And I think Red Team is just going to take that victory in itself, starting to fall back here. But now looping immediately around Milo here. Milo does manage to connect a pin down onto Hiba, and this will lock Hiba down for a couple extra seconds, but still Impavitus under so much pressure here. You've got Lord Asura coming in, trying to lock him down. Another knockback goes on to Impavitus. Has no stability now because he popped it so early there. Forced to run away. Does manage to get the combustive shot down for extra pressure, but another pull comes out there from Hiba, locks him down, and those Kandis, as well as the extra burst from Lord Asura, takes him into the downstate. Poison Spike, thankfully a banner is ready to go there from Milo, so that'll get him back up, but almost immediately he might end up falling back into the downstate here with the poison and bleeding ticks. That'll dock him out once more here, and now we are going to see Milo forced to go for a hardcore res, or he's going to lose his teammate. Unfortunately, however, just due to the chaos that'll be caused if Milo goes onto that body, I don't think he can get him back up, and I think we're looking at a quick round 1 for WeRec, and that appears as though it's going to be the case here. Good mid-air interrupt there too on the Berserker, on the Earthshaker. That came into play there from Lord Asura with updraft, but that's the end of it, guys. Astounding round 1 play here from WeRec UPay. They're going to be now up 1-0 and 2 victories away from winning the cup. So again there, unfortunately, that early pop of the stability that we ended up seeing coming out there from Impavitus really just was kind of checkmate. Unfortunately, again, you have to be very careful against this team just due to the fact of the Connies and in general, the spike that's going to come out here, specifically from Hiba too. We talked about his build a lot when someone else was playing it earlier there too. There's so much CC, you have to pop it at the appropriate time, otherwise you're just going to screw yourself over for the rest of the match, even on a warrior. And we also saw with the Zerker stance getting popped that early, that also kind of told the bells. With both of those stances being popped way too early, he unfortunately was left extremely vulnerable for the rest of the fight and had nothing left that he was able to do. Now, with that said, he has actually left the game. So he may be going back to NG, which again, I personally think would be a good choice, just because of the fact that having that variety in there is never going to hurt them. They were having a lot of issues there too, actually getting the Eviscerates connected, just mainly due to the fact that he was locked down for most of that fight. But obviously, again, it's not going to be the easiest task in the world to connect a lot of those Eviscerates versus this team. So I think going back to NG, as he has done now, should actually be a fairly decent choice. The build he is going to be playing is appearing to be the same build that Hiba's playing. So we have here at the moment the mirror matchup of Hiba and Climax Odium, both running with pretty much the exact same build. And both of those engines will be causing quite a bit of chaos in these fights. So as soon as our players are set to go, guys, we will begin with Game 2 out of a possible 5 in this set.
The match starts soon. Last chance to nail down your strategy.
I could outrun a centaur.
Let's get this started!
And now Red Team is going to take the path, the northern path out of the base, which again, if Red Team was actually kiting up for a quick approach through this northern chokehold here, it would have actually been a really good opportunity for them to gank. However, that is not the case. Red Team has been taking the southern exit to the base for pretty much their entire gameplay today so far, so unfortunately, they won't really be getting any sort of advantage due to the route that they took here. This is really only good, again, if your opponents are taking that northern route, because as you come out of the gate here, if you're running past this area, you can't really see them coming out of this little corner here, especially obviously if you have something like stealth to have access to. So it's really good, especially if you have access to a lot of spike burst there too, to kind of pop out of there, surprise your opponents, and get a very quick kill on them. We've seen that happen plenty of times before, specifically in North America. That happens a lot, but unfortunately it did not work too well in this scenario. Once again, however, they're going to take this fight back here, which again, that should be fairly interesting, to say the least here. It's not really going to give an advantage to either side. Both these guys can perform extremely well at close quarters here, just due to the fact of the amount of AoEs they have access to. So this is, I think, them just kind of try and take a risk. Let's force them to fight here in the corner and hope it pays off for us, because like I said, that's not really giving an advantage towards any single player by choosing to fight in this smaller area. Once again, however, though, Climax will be the prime target of choice for the red team here. He is kiting a lot better this time, though, due to the fact that obviously he is on NG. Hiba getting locked down here a little bit too, but does fall into quite a bit of damage that Lord Asura threw onto him, so we'll have to allow Milo to peel for him a little bit here. Climax, though, gets out of there flying, gets his healing kit down, and he'll be quite alright here. Coming in, we might see a crate pop, and yep, there you have it. No, apologies, actually, that was Hiba's crate pop, I think. Pulled that down for a defensive reasoning, I think, as well, trying to lock down Milo, but at the same time, he is going to be pushing forward, and the rest of the blue team will kind of move away from this area now, too, now that the turrets are down and in play here. Lord Asura getting pushed into a corner, but handling himself fine, as again, we're still in the very early stages of this fight. Both teams have pretty heavy access to all of their cooldowns still, so I wouldn't really imagine anyone getting locked down anytime soon, but over the next, I would say, a minute to a minute and a half, we definitely might start seeing that stuff. Climax, however, took a fairly large amount of damage here, I believe specifically from Lord Asura. Still holding on quite fine, but if he's not very careful here, we may find him in the downstate somewhat early. Hiba does try to get a pull. Thankfully, Milo's got him covered, though. Knocks him down in the middle of that channel to prevent that from happening. And other than that, red team kind of just going to pull back here, get some more heals going off. Lord Asura does get hit by that Earthshaker, but at the same time, not much punishment coming off, and we're still seeing, like I said, somewhat of a very slow game here. This is probably going to be the pace of it for some time, just due to the fact that of the builds that we're seeing both teams running. Both guys are, well, 4 of these guys are all fairly tanky individuals, so it's going to take some time to see any progress made. Climax, however, starts to get rather low here. Gets his heal off, but he's still extremely low. Has access to the crate, though, so he's going to be bringing that down. No surprises there. He'll probably get himself back up to about 50% health as he's running over these healing kits, but unfortunately, though, as you can see, he's still not making a resounding amount of difference in his health pool, so he may end up going into the downstate rather soon if Red Team decides to take the risk on him. Pulls him down, Hiba jumps down, connects that into an immobilize and overcharge shot immediately. His heal turret's going to come off here in just a second, though, so once again, he'll heal back up and be alright. So this is kind of, with the tanky builds, I noticed that this is happening a lot where, because of the, generally speaking, passive play style that's employed by this type of composition, we see a lot of missed opportunities to kill players, just due to the fact that the opponents want to play safe, they don't want to take a risk, they want to whittle down over time and get an advantage in that regard. Right there, with how low Climax had been, that was a probably 20 to 25 second period where Climax could have easily been spiked on and bursted down. But Red Team did not choose to take it because it would have been a risky play. I think that there is such a thing as being too safe, as again, you are going to give your opponents more of an opportunity to actually turn the game back around on you, but I don't know, we can't fault them too much for playing that, but it's just, you kind of have to decide if you actually want to take those risks or not. There's definitely been 2 to 3 times now where I would have said that we could have seen Lord Asura kind of dive in on the Climax and just take him out with 1 or 2 big spikes, but they just really have not been taking those opportunities in the name of staying safe, I believe. Climax, though, is going to try to move away once again here, as he's still the prime focus. Pull comes off, or actually he tries to pull on Hiba there, but Hiba moves away from that. Milo as well, they do manage to get a decent amount of a lockdown onto Lord Asura, but again, cooldowns are prepped and ready to go, so no progress really being made here whatsoever as the fight continues on and drones on, as it probably will for quite some time. we really just kind of have to wait for someone to make a very large mistake here or someone to get locked down, and once that happens, we'll definitely start to see some action come into play. Climax, however, just try to go for a stealth engagement on the Lord Asura. Good dodge even with the stealth employed there. Milo is still extremely low over here in the corner. There's a pretty big chance they might actually knock him down here, especially with these burn ticks on him at the moment. Still getting the passive regen from the healing signet here, but it looks like they might be taking him down. Very close indeed. Gets up on top. Red team not doing a very good job of following him. Gets just out of the LOS range of that pool there. And I think, again, Red team, because they're just a little too slow on that, is going to give Milo the room needed to keep himself up. We still have the Ellie on him, but I think he's got enough health back to where he'll be able to survive that engagement regardless here. The healing signet is going to do a pretty darn nice job of actually keeping him up, but keeping him, generally speaking, at a very good health, but you can see that here right now. And to be completely honest, if he resets combat here in a second, I won't be surprised at all. Heading over to Climax's point of view for a second here, too, as Red Team. Again, keep in mind, too, that Climax is actually on his own here right now. He doesn't have any peels coming in from Milo or anyone like that. Milo's on his way. But again, the opportunity is somewhat squandered, as there's not much follow-up when they connect CCs here with damage. That may just be because they're lacking the damage in general here with the comp they're running, but not seeing much spike. Continuing on with the fight, however, we do see Climax still really deep in enemy territory here. Lord Asura trying to knock him out at the moment. Gear Shield being utilized by Climax. Pull comes out from Hiva here too. This could be a big moment. Climax getting knocked back here. Not a lot of condies though. Has that Elixir S ready to pop, so we'll get out of the way of that. And as well, has another healing turret. Keep in mind too that we've actually gone through a full rotation of cooldowns here, so supply crates ready to go here. All of that is back up in play, and now we are going to see Blue Team try to take their big opportunity here on that. Lord Asura specifically being the prime target for that. Climax, however, might have gone a bit too aggressive, and now he's finally going to go into the downstate here. Hiba coming over. Poison nades on the corpse here. Milo has a banner to try and res. No interrupt on that, so Climax gets himself back up, but keep in mind too, that's a very, very, very long cooldown being utilized by Milo there, and if they can lock him down again, there's probably a very low chance that that Milo specifically is going to be able to save Climax and bring him back up into play for a second time, just due to the fact that the amount of cleave Red Team will have once one of their members goes into the downstate. Milo, though, I do have to give him props. He's doing a fairly amazing job actually keeping them off of Climax and denying them the opportunity to kill him here. They have forced disengages. He has, specifically him, has forced disengages time upon time upon time again, which has bought Climax the time needed to get away from things. Unfortunately, it seems as though Blue Team just kind of lacks the spike themselves to actually go into the Red Team. I'm not sure if that's because they've been forced to play so passively here in this game due to all the pressure they've been under, or if that's just because, again, the Red Team is too tanky, but for whatever reason here, they have seen the Red Team pretty much dominate control of this game, and finally here, we are going to be seeing them both get knocked out. So with that said, We Wreck Upay is going to take Game 2 now. They will be up 2-0 in this set, which this means as well that they will be only one short victory away from taking this tournament. We're going to take a short break, guys, as our players are reloading into the next map, and as soon as they are good to go, we will be bringing you round 3 of this grand final. Let's be right back, folks.
Starts soon. Last chance to nail down your strategy. this started.
All right, folks, welcome back once again. We are here now in what could be possibly the last game in this week's Cup. Once again, between We Wreck Upay on the red side, with Hiba and Lord Asura, both from Cheese Mode, and Trading Post Campers here on the blue team, with Milo Kreita and Climax Odium, both from Lunchbox in the Conquest sector of the game. But anyway, with the game getting started here, we just saw round 2 end. Very long, very drawn-out round, don't get me wrong in that regard. However, we saw Red Team, to be completely honest, dominating it. They had full control of their opponents for most of the time. It was very back and forth for a lot of the start there, but as we got closer to the end of the game, Blue Team was constantly on the defense. They were doing a very good job of making sure that they actually stayed up and stayed rolling on that defense, but unfortunately, they didn't really have any opportunities to turn things back around under their opponents. Going into this game, they are really going to have to think about that. They are really going to have to try and take some more risks and get some more coordinated burst off onto their opponents too. That was something I was noticing it was really lacking in that last game here from TPC, was they really were not connecting much damage onto their opponents. They need to work together here, go for a singular opponent as one singular unit, and hope that, again, they can get that damage in order to take those guys down. But anyway, with the fight getting started here, we did see quite a few cooldowns being used in the opening barrage there. Hiba specifically popped his crate, and actually, take a look at this here. Climax, already in some trouble here, has forced Milo to kind of get near him again here so that he can peel for him, and you can see that happening here right now. Climax, though, in stealth at the moment. To be honest, right here, like right now, would be an excellent opportunity to crate. Oh! Actually, as you saw, did attempt to do that, but good knockback by Hiba, and already we're going to see Climax going into the downstate. Now, we might see Milo go for a banner, but no, it's too late! Climax, or Milo, he had such a good banner spot, too. There's no chance they would have interrupted that, but it was too late. Oh, how tragic. And with that, guys, that's the end of it. Red Team's going to take it. Congratulations to We Wreck Upay. Very good job. Huge slip up there by TPC on not having that banner being channeled quick enough, but still excellent job by We Wreck Upay. Absolutely dominated this set. Because of that, they are going to be winning the ESL Weekly 2-on-2 Cup number 9, taking home 2,000 gems per player. Once again is going to be Hibify and Lord Asura. As for our second place team, however, once again TPC, Milo, and Climax Odium are as well each going to be taking home an 800 gem code. Once again, guys, that is the end of today's event. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Please keep in mind that the North American Misspedia 2 vs 2 Cup is coming up in just a few hours here. About 4 hours from now is when we're going to be having it. There are still plenty of spots open if you would like to participate in that cup. Please keep in mind, however, it is a North American Cup, so you must have access to an account on the North American servers if you would like to play. But once again, if you would like to play in that cup, go ahead over to battlefy.com/Misspedia to find more info on that. There is also a post over on the PvP events forum if you are looking for more info. That'll be happening at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and that will also be streamed right here on this channel. Don't forget, guys, this is a weekly cup. It happens every single week, and it is open signups. If you would like to find more info on it, go ahead over to esl.eu/guild wars 2 to find more information. And as one last reminder, guys, don't forget to like and follow ESL Guild Wars 2 on Facebook and Twitter. Facebook links as well as Twitter links are right in the bottom right corner of the screen now. And as well, ESL is doing a giveaway over on their Twitter account right now for 800 gems. If you go ahead and follow their Twitter account and retweet the tweet they have made for that purpose, you will be entered for a chance to win that gem code. Other than that, though, guys, be sure to follow this channel to be kept up to date with whenever I'm streaming, whenever we're doing tournament streams. We do a lot of tournament streams here, so make sure you follow the channel to be kept up to date on that. You can also follow my YouTube channel down below for more, educational videos about Guild Wars 2 PvP in general. And as well, there is the Misspedia or Team Mist YouTube channel where we upload all the tournament VODs too. Other than that, though, guys, I hope you have enjoyed today's stream, and if you cannot join us for any other events happening throughout the week, we hope you will join us next week at the ESL Weekly 2-on-2 Cup number 10. Have a good one, guys. We'll see you next time.
Just like